Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. Taylor, call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
At the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 55 yards.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for first and 10. Here's Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Under crunch. Pick it up, go.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Get that quarterback at all costs. Kill 56. Do it now.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And this will remain a scoreless game. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
That 180, like 180, alpha. Let's pick it up.
First carry for James Conner. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On third down, Rivers. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Set, 180. White.
Stand situation. Let's go. Twist.
Red.
Throwing on second down. Rivers. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
All right, 380.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. He's coming. We got double up.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
At the 50-yard line.
Set, 390. Left.
Rivers now from the 50. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. The 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Green 80, black 15.
Let's go.
White 89.
From the gun, Rivers. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A very solid gain of 27. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 45-yard line.
Set. Hey, Brown 80.
36. I'm on. Watch 36.
On 2nd and 12, Rivers toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and now it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
boys. 58. 58 is Mike. Hey, defense. Hey, defense. Let's go. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. Did you get this, boy?
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Ain't together. Ain't together. Come on. Quit talking about it and bring it. Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare. Flare.
Check, 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 check. Shoot, shoot.
He's checking. He's checking. Let it go.
On first down, Taylor. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Got it. Yeah. Hey, come on. I got one. Check three. Check three. Check three. Slam. Slam. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill, kill. Check one.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2.
Let's go now. 55. Check 55. Mike.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Wide. Get wide. Slam. Slam. Slam.
They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
At the 37-yard line.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Come on.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
Stop your whining.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. The Ravens send their punter out now. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
The Steelers pick up the first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Easy. X3. 218. Chop. Watch the eye.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rivers. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Third and long for Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyus Bowser, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go, defense.
Taylor. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
58 to Mike, 58. Hey, let's get there. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. No gain on this defense, no gain. Tighten up, tighten up.
Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Rivers. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now Cobb to return. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. To throw is Jackson. That's complete to Cobb. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Mike, 55.
Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, Delta!
Rivers. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And the kick here, no good, but a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Ravens take over the 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play that time for the Ravens. 59 yards.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now Taylor. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the Steelers' 18-yard line.
Let's go! 18 data, 18 data. 58, right there. You can't block me. You can't block me. Check! 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 Check safety, check safety.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
58, Mike. I got him. No. Off.
To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Tucker's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Let's go. 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
1st down, Pittsburgh.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Right back to Cotter here on 1st. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
That's it. We're okay. 380. Hey, Rocket.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 45 on 2nd down, Rivers. Return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Let's go now.
Army. Check. Lucky. Watch twist.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Here we go. Set. Let's go. Short.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Hey, watch the ball.
Throwing on second down. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Baltimore, first down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hey, ready?
5.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Check 9. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Shut up.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
I'm coming for you, son. You got tight. You got screen. You got tight right there. Kill. Hey, turn it out.
Check nickel. Run it.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
Set. 50 Pittsburgh.
Right there in the middle. 55.
Watch a slant. Slow.
Check right. Watch 55.
You're trash.
Mike 55. It's been a long day for you.
Mike 55.
Let's go.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Here we go. Ready.
Mike.
So we got man.
Patrick.
Get him on. Yes.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 2-yard line.
Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Back. Check, go. Check. Go. Shit.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal.
Check right, check right.
He's going to get it running right, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Jordan Howard, his Ravens push further out in front. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over first and 10.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
12. What we got?
On second down, Connor looking for space. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Again, a run with Connor. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
At the 11-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Whip. Watch the whip. Jam. 49, check 49. Check your hot read. Joker.
They run the counter. Taylor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
At the Ravens' 46-yard line.
Step Brown 80! Hey, Brown 80! Hey, me and you all day. All day.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
And the Steeler 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Connor. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Connor. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers. He's got Jack Doyle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Back now on EA Sports. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 34-yard line.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Check. Kill. Check 3, check 4.
Again, it's Howard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Get him.
Now Howard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly. Wise beyond his years. So for Baltimore, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.